Hello and thank you all for watching. This is Manny Sunny Sun for an astrological report. We begin with this aspect, Venus squaring or opposition to Saturn. The astro type for this, public order or love for truth. Venus, of course, a planet which denotes romance, affection, poetry. And the demotion of Venus here is wisdom, which cannot be mere intellectual. Venus is the demotion that could mark a time where you may take a minor role in relationships. This could mean you find something and not looking and seeing things, not in a personal way, but you will realize these difficulties that you have met have a different shade, a different look, a more objective way that you can view a situation that needs more maturity and determination. And also in regards to Saturn here can demand a lot more responsibility and experience in the people who we meet. That can probably mean you begin to take a sober outlook in values, relationships, work, and a desire to self-indulge all take a different view for you at this period in time. Saturn, of course, in astrology always represents the father and those of authority. Here in this demotion, Saturn would signify a more significance, since all of your energies need more development, and you can enjoy the fruit of the labor after you have gone through the rings of Saturn. You may undergo some feelings of coldness, separations of the father, probably difficult with elderly people, since Saturn, of course, is the hard disciplinarian wanting you to really face and look for the hard work. Concentration, planning may have occurred during this period in time when you have affected by a more pleasant and more personal planet, which involves beauty of Venus, which highlights her youthfulness, playfulness, but also addresses her flexibility, which you may have showed to Saturn, an attitude or an emotion of rejection that to that, and particularly when dealing with this very harsh aspect of the square or opposition. You may have discovered here, because of Saturn wanting to set his mind on discipline and structure and reality in this material world here, one may experience Saturn inharmonious dissonance of decision making that don't make relationships very fruitful. Usually through the dissonance of hard work, we can expect a new change. And after you have allied to the Saturnian energies, you soon realize that at the end you have already personalized this identity of Saturn, a background or identity, a distinction at this personal phase. So here, Venus squaring or opposition to Saturn, expect to see changes in business, property, other people's money, money in any large investments made during this period in time can experience a decrease of anything that relates to both planetary bodies. So either money, authority, figures, marriages, marriage delays. This is where we don't want to face, not yet. But here's the influence of Saturn is concerned in all these that I have mentioned above. Saturn likes to look at affection, romance, and bringing all these emotions will, by time, will likely to relive an experience, in this case, a place of sorrow and perseverance of emotions that can cause us delays, misfortunes in love, scandals, irregularities. Feelings have a shade of disappointment and causing the mind to go into sadness or grief. Saturn, planet of confinement, will look at old love attachments, affections of the past with a new look. This also affects our relationships with the public, can cause scandals to the matters of the heart. So many astrologers have called this square aspect as a Saturnine discretion. Therefore, this aspect is more of a Saturnine aspect than others. This is what we have to deal with in all forms of relationships. One may generally come to private relations with a hidden scheming, which also undermines our roots to gratify our own senses. This may lead to one direction and not another. One may clarify either our self-indulgences in sexual relationships. One often comes through to light about our sexual preference, our sexual preferences, but may find a playful way to come honest and speak what is their true intention. One may go in one that will only crave emotions, that are passionate, unusual, strange desires. And this may create a desire that can go against the younger crowd. This usually takes an irregular match for marriages. One may enter into the person's life that burns them with responsibility, sorrow, and things that need more time. On the other hand, one marries with figures that are more older, more mature. One may lack any method of planning, while the other partner can take more of a mature outlook with other persons, values that permits no frivolity. Your finances may also take a downturn, as it is more difficult for us to concentrate on one particular source of income and neglecting the other. This is the source of needing to spend and need to cut your own expenses, and this can create conflict and an imbalance in our finance, meaning one may exceed the other. One chooses to marry with people. This is a time where much careful planning, usually involving people with this position. One needs to understand that money can buy you love. You simply need to change your own attitude and emotions about money. You are careful, you are reserved. A person who appears to others as cold, logical, feeling of hatred, a Cartesian method, and just people that like to strike a balance of not denying one thing or the other, to learn and not denying the other. So this influence and the truest nature of Saturn here is what holds this respect. We may take a closer look of the things that you do care for, friends, family, etc. One may put more concentration on the material worth of the vibrations that are coming from patience, steps that lead you to long-serving relationships. Where Saturn, of course, demotions here in Sagittarius, we are admitting to be completely open with someone about finances, our projects, things of that nature that involve the mind to discuss about broader views in relationships. This can mark also a minor turning point on your part, taking something less personal and suddenly finding that a more objective view and a personal way of viewing this situation. Your powers of observation and appraisal are heightened, and you may find yourself able to take a cold hard look, and you love being frugal at this time. So thank you all for watching. This has been a astrological aspect report, Venus squaring or opposition to